Well, hello and welcome everyone to Stitches and Coffee with Jurgita. So my name is Jurgita, and if you like to see anything crafty, especially with the needle and thread, this is the channel where I'm going to be talking about it. So there's 1st of August today, and actually evening, so I'm not greeting you with coffee because today and probably even throughout tomorrow I'll be recording also my whip parade. I figured I wanted to do that like at the end of June, but we were traveling, so that kind of July went by so fast. So 1st of August, I thought I would do that again. I think last year I also did sometime in August whip parade, and this year's whip parade is much bigger than a previous year because if you've been watching me this year, I've been doing lots of new starts, and that includes totally new styles for me of crafts and doing regular like a kits and patterns and magazines. So there's lots and lots of projects happening every month, and not every project gets a lot of work having done because of that. But next year is gonna be changing. I've been planning for next year since like February, all kinds of different plans. So we'll see. Well, I'll talk about that next year's plans closer to New Year. But like I said, today is the 1st of a month, and usually beginning of the month, I've been trying to stitch on my Spoiled Child pattern by Astra, and I've been doing this for quite a few months, every month, and it's growing pretty fast. And sometime next year, it should be all finished. So it's pretty big pattern. I'm stitching that as full crosses. A lot of those full coverage I'm doing right now is in half crosses, but this is a full cross. And let's see, each month minimum I have for myself put sort of like a minimum of 3,900 stitches. So let's see what I'm gonna start with. So this is where I'm gonna be working, and nothing interesting. Main characters already hiding their faces, and let's see, that would be about like her knee, I believe, is showing a bit. So start from this. So this area is not going to be very interesting. We're not going to reach dog. Previous time we reached just the tip of a nose. So just gonna go her outfit. Nothing very interesting to see, but it will add to the total picture. And this one, let's see, I started in 2019. So this is my oldest whip, and that's why I'm working on that. Pattern is 450 by 514. So need to work every month. And like always, I take little like a black area and start filling in from a smallest amount of stitches in it to the biggest, and then I'm continuing in the next block and so on. So this is what you seeing right now, and hopefully probably few seconds for you, but quite a few days for me, at least 4 if not 5 maybe. You'll see some growth in here hopefully, and it all should look much better. So my Spoiled Child, beginning of the month, and even though outside is hot and right now it's evening, I've been filming and doing all kinds of other work parts, and I need to stitch. My hands are itching to stitch. So even if it's for 1 hour, I want to start tonight. Well, since it's the first Saturday of the month, I'm about to go to our Stitchy group, what I call Sit and Stitch, that we do every couple of weeks at a local library. And this time we're gonna go to the big room, so hopefully a lot of people can walk by and stop by even, especially if they're embroiderers or cross stitchers. So This is a project I'll be taking from now on until I finish as my Stitchy group project. It's by Lizzie Kate, Promise Me. And this is what I have up to this point. Not a lot. It says braver than you and strong. So have it all already, and all the threads. I've been just collecting different types. It's not exactly what is suggested in here. So that's something easy to stitch and chat together. So this is what I'm gonna show you at the end probably of this video, what it looks like then. So I'm off to stitch. So we'll have some digging happening today. We have a saying, before you dig, call Julie. So all those lines were marked, or like a gas line, it says, and electrical. And here is a box. So they have to dig like where that one is, a little flag, all the way through here, because we have some pump water doesn't want to come out fully. There is a big opening in there, so they'll be digging underneath and following to the end of the driveway. But yeah, this is how they make sure you don't cut the cables and things like that. So hopefully it will start looking all much better. And now 7 days passed, and let's see what we have done. So as you can see, finished the ladies even hand. I went a little bit more than I was planning to, which is good in a total. Somehow just did not want to stop and just kept going. Plus I did not have a lot of time for stitching, so just like I'm gonna do a little bit more, and then that's how 7 days passed. So finished the dark colors in here. And as you can see, there's even more darker parts gonna be happening. And right after below, it's gonna be dog's back. And the hand is kind of hiding in here, but then it's her knee, I guess the left knee covered, popping out in here. So partially I've done in this, and all that's left up to this point, if I push on next month, I might be able to finish this row, even though it's more way more than 4,000 stitches. Here I've done about 5,000 something. So this is what looks like right now. And honestly, I probably could continue stitching in this, just kind of relaxing, especially here. There's not going to be a lot of different color changes because I did majority in this area right here. So that would be easy thing to do, but this is what's looking like right now, and other projects are calling me again. So I think I'm gonna have to stop in this area. And I don't know, maybe the constant heat and humidity is getting to me, but I'm kind of slowing down in my stitching, which is kind of unusual for me. I've been doing that nonstop for quite a few years, but I'll keep persisting, and we'll see how much we get the next month, I mean. And on the 8th of August, I think I'm going to start something new that I was planning for this year. And this is from the Cross Stitcher magazine of June 2010. This is what it looks like on the cover. And it's going to be this Christmas reindeer. It's kind of a big thing. As you can see, this is like a hanging on the wall or whatever the framing is, because it's supposed to be like 101 by 119 on a 14 count. So it would make almost like a 8 inch, I think, tall, but I'm gonna do that much smaller. I might do in a pillow or as a tiny ornament, and I'm gonna be stitching on 25 count over one, possibly a half stitch. So just had the fabric from a different project that I had left over. I don't know what color is. It's sort of looking like a off-white. And I pulled out a new like a water soluble markers that I got from AliExpress. So I marked the whole territory. I added 2 inches on each side, just in case if I want to make like a pillow, I think it should be enough. And marked the very middle. It's supposed to be a fairly easy stitch. As you can see, there's not a lot of color changes, especially background. I guess I could do that in the on the blue color, but I might just also choose just the reindeer itself without all the extras. I haven't decided fully yet, but since it's a main character and I'm gonna start from the middle, this is what I'm gonna stitch. Probably him, maybe with those ornaments on the antlers, and then we'll see if I want to stitch a whole background with all extras. As you can see, there's also the top here that was stitched and just put a ribbon, and a couple extras on the bottom here, laying even candy canes, couple candy canes in there. So if I stitch on 25 count, that would make about 4.04 by 4.76 in size. So as you can tell, it's much smaller. So that should be, I think, up to my wishes. So this is what I'm starting. By the way, designer is Cynthia Chambly, and that's what I wanna have, something smaller for my Christmas tree. And the few hours that I get to stitch, this is what I've got. So you can kind of tell there's a grumpy eyebrow drawn deer is sitting there. Looks like a coat in here or a beard, but when you look what it's going to come out into this, it's not going to be as dark looking. So it's kind of interesting that let me like bring it closer, that the colors so differ. It's very dark in here and fairly light. I mean, like that eyebrow looking thing, it looks very light brownish in here. So I think it's gonna be totally different than what's in the picture, and that's what I don't like, and I think a lot of stitchers don't like, is when the final result differs from a picture, and pictures usually are like bleached, not bleached out of, but brightened, and I don't know how it's gonna turn out like this, but I used exact DMC colors that it was suggested, so everything might be much brighter. So we'll see. I haven't looked at the blue color, what's supposed to be, or what is going to be the main parts of a deer, because that's pretty much just filling in the blanks, and that would be a good project to throw in the purse when you go somewhere. I don't think there's any color difference, but you can tell, right? This color, what is in here and what's in there. And I'm also stitching on similar color lightness of the fabric, so that's something different. Anyway, I'm gonna set this aside and keep it for when I go somewhere, like a sit and stitch for us, or just in the car somewhere. It's not a big project to stitch, and like here you can just fill in the blanks. Mainly there's going to be one more row going like in between his even this part is different than in here. You see how light this one is, and how like a creamy-ish brown, like a almost like a latte color in here. So that's interesting. Totally different final result, seems like it. So that's all it is for my Christmas reindeer start. And now I've decided to pull out this a design that's called like a Grandmaster Demonic Cult. And in English, if you want to watch the show, it's called The Untamed. And it's not very small design. So let's see, this is what it should look like when it's all done. So this giant like a circle, and then main characters below. Designer is Maria Skripnik. And I've been slowly stitching this, so there's a tiny bit of a top that's hiding, but you can see that there's lots of back stitching done, everything. Some places you can't see fully, but there's a bud, like those flower buds in here, and now we see outline of the main characters, like hair pieces, shapes, these parts. So I don't know where I'm gonna continue now. Maybe just go around it and leave the main characters for later, perhaps. But once I stitch the area, then I do all the back stitching in here, and you can kind of see more outlines of the back stitching on the printed piece versus stitch piece, like some of those buds in here, much harder to see unless maybe if I move the light differently, perhaps. Nope. So it's bright light right now on it, but don't want to leave it for later. So there's um, different colors and mixing in, but I think it needs to be stitched right now. I have only like a 37.1% done for that, so I need to keep going. And let's see, I think so here is where the circle approximately ends, so there's still going to be quite a bit to stitch below, so I need to work on this area so I can roll up again the frame and then finish up the characters in the bottom. I'm sure it's gonna be some blocks of color once I get into the outfits, but very curious how their faces gonna come out. This is like not a manga, kind of cartoonish shows also you can see online and on YouTube and other places, but it's time to pull this out, I should say. And now I'm not gonna say anymore, just start stitching. Okay, let's see what couple of days of stitching gave me. Not a lot of stitching, but some. And this is what I have. So you probably can tell where I've grew a little bit more. So just went in the dark parts of the feathers, and just been filling in dark spots, and a little bit already in the hair is going to be one of the main characters. And the same thing is here, his headband is filling in here, and the dark part. Of course, I went almost all the way down to this side of the circle, filled in the spots in here. And then also I was doing some more back stitching, which very hard for you to see. Like some lines, when I really zoom in, finished off the neck in here, and then I was doing some like a 2-strand back stitching around the branches in here and in this area. And there's going to be more, like I said, the back stitching outlining, but this is where I've decided it's good enough to stop for now, because next time I'm gonna have to stitch more into characters to be able to do some of the more back stitching. Like it comes in here, you can see this is like a mountain tops in here, can be seen from far away, all those areas. So yeah, so this is exciting that I reach over 43% now that it's done. Of course, the back stitching takes me a little bit more time because I'm trying to get straighter lines as much as possible. And don't know when I'm gonna pull out, if it will be sometime this year or just gonna have to wait for the next year. But my main characters is gonna be starting next time, I would imagine, at least like a hair and outfit. Maybe I'll leave faces for later, maybe I'll start with the faces, I don't know. But this is what I've managed to do in my Magister. And now, even though it's even kind of getting dinner time, I've decided to set up and pull out my harvester or purbea. a pattern by Astra. Painting is by Lithuanian painter Rusackas. I'm stitching this on a 24 count Congress ramen in half stitches. Design is 300 by 425. Total should be about 127,500 stitches. So like always, I've started it at the top left corner. I started this last February, so just over a year old. And so far it was not super hard to stitch, although my printing picture is slightly different, as you can see, than what it's turning out. Much lighter, bleached out. So I've been going slowly this way, and you can see, is that the sickle called? This tool to harvest. I've used something like this with um, on a long stick before when I was young. So interesting gonna be to see. But you see the grain sticks right here is already starting to form. So I'm probably gonna just continue going this way, and nothing much to see in here except more golden colors, and I'm sure it's gonna be heavy in the confetti. Sky is not as confetti heavy, but to show all those green and all those colors differences, it's going to take me a little bit longer. And so 300, so this is a half point horizontal, so it's not very huge in the size, like compared to my hand. And just gonna slowly keep going this way, and we'll see where I can get in the next like a day and a half or something like that. So this is my harvester. So it's been about 48 hours. It's again late evening on the 13th, and I've decided that it might be enough of stitching. Didn't get a lot of stitching on this because this morning we had our usual sit and stitch with other ladies for almost 4 hours, and I was stitching on something else, but not this one. And then life things got in, and I have not touched anything at home, which would include this biggie. But as you can see, I already started moving forward on the sky and even outlined more of this part. And I'm happy to say that right now I have 8.82% done. So I'm fairly happy how it turned out. And as you can see, I reached some parts, the middle more, and just a tiny bit left in here. And it was just those brownish colors, and that's where I think I'm gonna leave it for now. And so yeah, I think I was talking about that before I was interrupted by a kid. So Stitchy ladies want to get even, don't mind getting even more together, like once a week, but I'll have to check out library if we can do like evenings once a month at least, for those who cannot come on the weekend or during the weekdays in the mornings. So we'll see, but that's going to be my homework for tomorrow. So today I'm going to stop with this, and I don't know when I'm going to pull it out again, but it will be its time eventually. And this is what it looks like. Miss Jurgita, and today is 13th of August 2024, and it's getting late into evening, and I've decided to finally start this project, which is called Witch's Night Out by Blackberry Lane Designs. Designer is Marie Driscoll, and it's supposed to come out this long border area, or you can do like it's shown in here as a samples, different things even with just the portions of that. But I think I'm gonna do long bell pull like that, and for that I grabbed fabric that is recommended, which is 28 count crystal kermit linen, and as you can see, it's all the sparkles in here. So I got a big chunk of that. And I got also 6-inch bell pull that has a top and a bottom, as is seen almost like a same one in here. But the only thing is we don't see the cutouts like orangey parts in here. This is just the plain hat right here, black plain hat and boots. And the one I have, and in case you might wanna get the same, it's a Retromantic Preparies, I guess. And I haven't even taken it out, so we're checking it out together with you to see what it looks like. It's probably sewed in, attached. Yep, it's tied up in here. So with the twine. So there you go. There's one part. And we can see the hat done a little bit more. So especially I love how the boots turning out. So this is what I'm gonna be doing, and all it needs is black thread, and it was the model was stitched with using needlepoint silk, and I'm gonna be using just a regular cotton thread. So it's gonna be either black DMC or black anchor. I'm gonna try both and see which one I like more on this project, but that's what is going to be needed. So it's very simple, no changing in color needed. The design itself is going to be 136 by 465 in the length. So it's long. And as we can see, there's going to be lots of borders going all around and filling in all the shadows of all the creatures. Love the cat in here on the top. That's going to be so cool. And I'll need to still get, like you can see, a couple bat buttons in this. I don't know if there's anything in here, but first it will need to be all stitched. So on the 28th count, it would be 4.8 inches wide by 16.75 in height. So if you do this whole thing. So this is what I'm gonna start tonight, and we'll see how it goes. And this is how much I've done in just a tiny bit in the evening. So this is about the middle part and just went on the top and off to the side. So this is about half of the width that it's gonna be. So I've decided to work with the DMC 310 because once I separated anchor threads, let's see what, I'm sure you can tell the difference of the thickness in here. And I thought with the DMC, with one thread would be much better in here to fill in all the partially empty areas so you wouldn't see any fabric going through, but you can tell a difference between from the spool one thread versus DMC one thread. So that's why I've decided to go with the DMC thread from the skein. And this is where I'm gonna stop for now, but I think it's filling up pretty well. I tried also with the half stitch to do with 2 threads, and I liked more when it's a full X, even though it's gonna take me much longer time, but something different, big project to do in full X. So this is Witch's Night Out start.